0.5, here we go. So we're doing linear searches, and it wants us to implement the same one they've got in the example, but using a while loop. So first thing we need to do, of course, is have an index variable that tracks where we are, and we'll start at the beginning of the list. We want to keep running until we get to the length of the list, and because this is a array list, we have to use .size as a method. And then we just need to check to see if the array element at position I is equal to the key, and these are double, so we can use double equals. If that is the case, we would return I, and I realize that my variable names are inconsistent, so let's just use I. Everybody likes I. And then we need an else. Well, actually, we don't need an else, because if we return, then we're out. So then we increment I, and when we get to the end of the list, then we return -1 because we didn't find it in our list. We'll run it. It's going to search for 5.0 in our list. It should find it at position 2. Check it. There we go. So, not too hard. Next up, we got this making a fantasy football roster with an array of 5 possible players. We're going to add them to, so there's already this add player method. We need to also use this, we need to create a search method to find where the thing is, and then we'll return the index, so we can do this with a for loop. So we're going to just do a linear search through the list. Again, we're doing array.size because this is an array list. Increment I, and now we're going to have to do a string comparison. So we're going to do if the player that we're looking for is equal to and then we're going to get the ith player out of the list, and if we find that player, then we will return I, because that is the index of the player. If we get through the whole list and can't find them, then we need to return an integer still. So we're going to return an invalid integer. So we will return -1. Now it wants another. So we've got our add players, and then we need to add some more code to this. So we're going to go ahead and need to do some prompting and all that kind of stuff. So we'll do our system.out.println, and then we're going to say enter name of player to add. I'm just copying this from the thing, and then the user is going to enter the user is going to enter a input, so we got to make a new scanner. Same thing that we've done a million times. And then string player gets input.next line. And then once they put the player in, then we need to figure out if we're going to put this in the list or not. This is probably a good case for a while loop, because we want to keep going, and we don't know how many times this is going to take. And then this wants an array that can store 5 possible players. So our available players is there. We need another array to store a fixed value. So maybe yeah, let's do this with a while loop. All right, so we're going to make an array of strings. So we say string, square bracket, we'll call it roster, and then we're going to just put in, we got to use the new operator here, so we're making a new array of 5 strings, and there's our roster. And now we're going to make a while loop, and let's just make a for loop. Int I equals 0, I is less than 5, because that is our, I'll do roster.length, and again we use length because it's a regular array, not a array list. These two need to indent, and then in fact we'll just throw this whole thing in a while loop. we'll do a while true. Indent that. So we're going to just be looking for a player. And then once we find a player, then we will, so we're going to do a search. So int index is, and then we're going to call search using our available player array list. And we're looking for the player here. And we're going to get an index back. If the index is equal to -1, then we would have to print out system.out.println the player name, player, and then is not an available player. Otherwise, we have found a player. Hooray! All right. So the else here would be that we want to add to our roster. So we do roster.I, and we also are going to have to remove him from the, remove that player from the list. So roster I gets player. Easy enough. And then we're going to also have to remove the player at player index. So we do available players dot remove from index. And then finally we need to break because we're in an infinite loop right now. And infinite loops are generally something that you have to break out of at some point, right? So once we've found that, then we'll break out. And this will just keep running until they put in a player. We also need to print out our confirmation. So something I'm going to be doing a lot. Actually, we're almost done with this. System.out.println, and we put player. Actually, we just have to say successfully add a player. Successfully added player. There we go. Okay, and then that's going to keep running until we're done. And then we have to print out our final team roster at the end. So this is going to go after our for loop, which is populating our roster. And then once we've done that, we're going to just print out final team roster. By the way, I'm seeing that there's some lines they skipped. So it looks like if we just put a slash in here before enter name, well, actually we don't want it on the very first one. So let's just add it there and there. And then final team roster, and then we need to go through and just print out our roster. We can use an enhanced for loop here, string player in our roster, because we're not modifying anything, we're just printing these values out. And then we're going to do another system.out.println of our players. And that looks pretty reasonable. Let's find the bugs. Cannot find symbol available player because it is plural. You know, if all I'm missing is an S, we'll call that a win. Hey, that looks good. Ta-da! All right, moving on. So next up, we have a free response question. Obviously, I cannot modify this. Am I not signed in? Must be logged into a Google account. I said I don't want to. I just want to make a copy of this. Oh, well, that's annoying. One moment. Do we not actually? Well. File. I'm not logged into this platform because it is running within a window. There we go. Okay, we're going to make a copy of this thing. I would organize it, but, you know, this is not what we're doing. Okay, so talking about array lists versus arrays. So often we know how many items we need in the list. So arrays are useful and simpler. For instance, if we have a roster of 5 players, other times we may have a dynamic amount of items in the list. Like with the list of available players. Hey, there you go. So that's arrays versus array lists. Here's the breakdown of what arrays will do and the syntax for them versus array lists. Array lists are slightly more complicated, but they give you more functionality. Then we get down to this making cards for Pokemon cards. And they give this example here. We got some getters. And now we want to make a method called total value that will return the total value of all cards in the collection. Oh, it really bothers me that this collection is capitalized. It should be lowercase. Okay, well, that's the code they gave me, so we'll go with that. All right, so we need to go through, and we need to make a card. So we need to first make, so we're making a method. So we're going to say public. This is going to return the total value of all our cards, which I believe are doubles. At least they should be, yeah. Public double, total value, no parameters. And then in here, we're going to, oh geez, I can't even tab. That's real annoying. You shouldn't code in a Google Doc. I don't know why they did it this way. All right, so for card, lowercase c card in our collection, which for reasons unknown is uppercase. So I'm just gonna, I guess, manually space. So for card in our collection, we just want to add this to the total. We obviously need to have a running total in order to save this. So double total gets 0 as our starting value, and then we're going to do total plus gets card dot get value. There we go. And then we gotta like close our curly braces. And when we're done, we return the total. That's basically all we got to do there. We want to know how many are imperfect, and we're trying to print the names of the cards that are in perfect condition. Sure. All right, so this is a void method because it's only printing, it's not returning anything. Check perfect. Go ahead and put my curly braces in to start with. And then we're going to just need a for loop again, for card in our collection. Then we're going to, so if card dot get condition, and get condition is a string method. Makes sense. So we have to use dot equals to compare it to another value, and we're comparing it to the string perfect. We need two closing parentheses there. So if the condition is perfect, then we want to do a system.out.println, which I conveniently have on my clipboard. And we want to print out card.getName, which is a string. And then you just got to close the curly braces. That's all. That's all she wrote there. Finally, we've got this thing, and it's out of order, and they want us to put it in the right order. So this is really asking us to do assert. Public void order numerically. It's void because we're not actually returning the thing, we're changing the instance variable called collection. So there's 151 cards, and they're suggesting we might just want to make a new array list and go through in order as we're going. I can't use tab or it breaks stuff. All right, so we'll make a new collection. So we are making an array list of cards, and we're going to call this out, and that's going to get a new array list of cards, and we don't need to initialize it to any number of cards. And then we're just going to go through in order. Set includes 51 cards. Okay, so now we need to go through. We're just going to go through the values of 1 in numerical order by set number. Okay. I'm assuming the sets start at 1. Okay, so now we're just going to go through our array list. Well, actually, we're going to go through our collection. And so we have to basically go through each of our original cards. For card in our collection. This feels very inefficient whenever you have a big nested for loop, but hey, that's what we got to do. Okay, so we want to see if card dot get set number, I believe is the name of the method. Get set num, okay. Get set num. If that, which is an integer, is equal to I, then we want to add this to our array list. Right? So therefore, oh shoot, I need to stop doing that. It's a little unclear from how they describe this problem. So, well, first let's do add this. So we'll do out.add card. Right? Now what is unclear to me is a couple of things, actually. First, it's unclear if there's any duplicate of cards with the same set number. I think the implication is that these do not have duplication. So if they don't have duplication, we can break. If not, we have to go through and find all of them. If we wanted to speed this up a little bit, we could also pull them from our list of cards. And if we wanted to do that, we can do but here's the problem. If we want to do that, then we have to actually have a full for loop to iterate through the cards. And they don't actually say that we have to, so we're going to just do this the slightly lazy way. But you could also have a full for loop and then remove cards as you find them. But I think that's okay because we're only, we're checking for the set number, so you shouldn't end up duplicating here. And then when we're done, we don't want to do a return, but rather we just want to set our collection to be the output that we made in that for loop. There you go. That is 7.5.